Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Harrison Talks Pod, episode 38, and an unofficial season 2 since we took a little break in the off season. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Harrison Talks Pod is now brought to you by Sidepanel Network. And Sidepanel Network is a collaboration of me and other creators and podcast creators. It includes Nintendo Therapy Podcast, which, if you are a follower on here, you know that I'm a part of. It is also home to the podcast of Ninja Turtle Nerds, which involves the other host of Nintendo Therapy. They put out an episode last week, and some other projects and podcasts that we will talk about later. All of that comes later because it's the first day back and we got a lot to talk about. So, on today's show, we are jumping into what I think are some early nice surprises in the NBA. Starting with the 76ers, who have come out of the gate 2-0 and shown that they might be competitors in the Eastern Conference. We'll break down Tyrese Maxey's efficient scoring, VJ Edgecombe's historic rookie debut in Boston. And with the synergy of players like Maxey, Edgecombe, the clutch shooting of Quentin Grimes, how does that impact Joel Embiid and his overall health throughout the season? We will also touch on the Nuggets' early games, focusing on Aaron Gordon's dual role performances and what that means with Denver's offensive flexibility. Then we'll look at San Antonio, who's off to a 3-0 start, a team that not many were predicting to dominate right off the bat, but Victor Wembanyama has a historic start to this season, showing MVP level impact. And oh wow, they might have a third rookie of the year in a row with Dylan Harper. Let's talk about the impact of that. And then we'll talk about the Wizards and Kyshawn George's performance. He had 6 points tonight, but had a great first two games. And I wanted to talk about his impact and any positives we could talk about with the Wizards. Might not be too many just yet, them being 1-2, not expecting to win too much, but looking out for those lower teams in the East this season. Let's have fun. Please like, subscribe, do all of the YouTube things that you do if you're on YouTube. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining me. We do basketball talk every week on here. Just try to have some nice, genuine NBA conversations. Oh, and also, before we do all of that, it is a Monday morning here in Thailand, which means it is a Sunday evening back in America. All the games just wrapped up. The Lakers just defeated the Kings 106-100, and we need to talk about Austin Reaves' career high 51 points. So the Lakers this season are currently 2-1, and they had a rough start against the Warriors to debut their season. I thought the Warriors had a very nice debut to their season, and we can talk about what that team means more at a later date. Let's focus more on the Lakers. They did bounce back. They had a nice game against Minnesota where they won. Luka dominated with 49 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists. Had a great first two games. At the same time, it's unfortunate that in the first game they lost against the Warriors, and you can see where they might struggle without LeBron James. And also, once you do have LeBron James, is it enough offense around those two players? Also, is it the right style of basketball that they are playing? We know the usage stats with Luka, and we know that LeBron James usually has the ball in his hand. So it's been uh, quite an interesting struggle for LeBron in the Lakers era, the LeBron Lakers era. Part of that is LeBron. Part of that is the players that are around him, but just don't know if they have enough offense yet, considering that you could have Luka have a huge night and still lose. You can have him score 49 points and then win a game. And then what we're here to talk about, uh, Lakers win tonight by 6 points. No Luka, no LeBron, but Austin Reaves has 51 points in 39 minutes. So I think there are a lot of positives with this team, but there are some constructive things to look at as well when it comes to shooting and when it comes to front court depth. At the same time, I am very happy that it seems like players off their bench and other role players have improved throughout this first week, this very short span of time. Seems like DeAndre Ayton has just gotten incrementally better, had a good uh, performance tonight. Marcus Smart, if he stays out of foul trouble, he's getting better with the team, and we know what kind of impact he can have on a team as well. So, I think they hold on and they have a decent record once LeBron James does get back, assuming that, there's nothing else different that they're not telling us. I know sciatica can be very difficult to come back from, but he's never been out real long term. So let's assume that he's back in a few weeks. So those are the highlights. I think for the Lakers, there are concerns. There are times where the brand of basketball isn't what I enjoy watching because of the high usage rates. And I just have doubts um, that they can always put up these big performances with their big players, but also be able to come through when your top players aren't scoring 51, 49 every night. So tonight, as you said, they defeated the Kings. Austin Reeves has a career high 51 points in 39 minutes. He was 12 of 22 from the field and 6 of 10 from three, 21 of 22 from the free throw line. So that's your key stat. Make your free throws. Had 11 rebounds and 9 assists. So one assist away from a 50-point triple double. And these big performances just keep the Lakers in it. Had some big plays in the night. Definitely had Austin Reeves be the anchor of their offense and have him facilitate to other players like DeAndre Ayton that they got more involved in their game. So for sure, team to look out for. Other than that, Aiden, who we mentioned, 22 points, 15 rebounds tonight. Rui Hachimura, who needs to have impact when Luka and LeBron are away. Uh, 18 points on 70% shooting. Marcus Smart improving over time, 11 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists off the bench. Lakers shot 48% as a team, 32% from three. Again, can improve there. And 89% from the free throw line, which is mostly due to Austin Reeves. So, starting aggressive, hitting your threes, hitting your shots, that's what's going to be the key for the Lakers moving forward. So, keep an eye on them and let's see how they are once they get all their superstar players back. So we've had tons of great performances to start this season already. And I thought it would be fun to point out four surprises. There's been so many, but four nice surprises to start this season. And the first that I want to talk about are the 76ers, who are 2-0 to start their season with two close and very exciting matches, and the impact of not just Tyrese Maxey playing alongside Joel Embiid, but also VJ Edgecombe making an early case for Rookie of the Year. So, 76ers, 2-0 start. Not going to bore us with the concerns with this team. There's, of course, lots of concerns with health and timeline, having old players, having very old players, having young players. So their timeline is all over the place. With that being said, with the way that this team and this backcourt complementary to Joel Embiid, who is playing for now and hopefully playing more minutes as the season goes on, this team looks like it could be competitive. Now, can it compete for the Eastern Conference championship? Not sure, but it looks like this team has the right players around it to close out close games and be competitive against some top teams, perhaps some good teams. We know Boston is struggling. They're 0-3. They played against Charlotte, won by 4 points. But I still think, of course, 2-0 start. It's a really good sign. And we saw some really nice things from this team. So in the season opener, they won by 1 point, 117 to 116. Tyrese Maxey had 40 points and 6 assists. And then VJ Edgecombe had 34 points, which is a franchise record for a debut and the most of a debut ever since Wilt Chamberlain, right? Right? Where now? Yes, Wilt Chamberlain, most since 1959. And 14 points in the first quarter set a new NBA debut record. The previous before that was LeBron James with 12. So big performances there. Joel Embiid only had 4 points in this game. Only had, yes, 4 points in this game. So it's noted that while the Celtics are struggling, the top player for the Sixers struggled and they still pulled off the win. So Maxey's off to a great start. VJ Edgecombe is showing that he could be really impactful for this team this season. And in game two, they won by 4 points against the Hornets, 125 to 121. Tyrese Maxey had 28 points and 9 assists. Quentin Grimes had a great game with 24 points, including the game winning 3 pointer with 14 seconds left. Joel Embiid had a bounce back game with 20 points, and Edgecombe had 15 points this game. Also, a comeback victory in this game as well. They overcame a 10-point deficit in the final 6 minutes, and they finished with a 23-9 run. So, really, really nice performance. I watched this entire game yesterday and um, really entertaining. I think the Hornets who won tonight as well, are going to be very entertaining. So we'll have to talk about them again very soon. Mexi could be looking at an all-star this year. I think he's taken steps up in his offense and in his facilitating, and I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be a potential all-star or all NBA this season. Um, Scoring inside and outside, facilitating the offense, had 9 assists to go along with the 40 points against Charlotte. And then Edgecombe with Maxi synergizing, working together has been looking really nice as well. Their combined usage has been right around 30% for these two games combined, and they have very nice contrasting skill sets. While Maxi, of course, might be better at this point offensively, Edgecombe might be slightly better defensively. So we are looking at a very fun backcourt, and who knows where it'll rank in top backcourts as the season goes on. Mentioned Quentin Grimes. He's had a nice start to the season. He had 10 points against Boston and then 24 points against Charlotte, including that big game winning three to close out the game. Definitely adds spacing to this team, adds balance, and then just adds more scoring, whether he's starting or coming off the bench for you. So two comeback victories for this team has shown that they might even have enough offense to close out victories on days where they might not have Joel Embiid, and or if Joel Embiid is struggling. And not sure where his health is. Not sure if they're limiting his minutes to a certain extent. But I do hope that they are just mindful of giving him enough time and rest so that we can see him at the end of the season and we can see them in the playoffs if they're in the playoff picture. So there's that. What else? Andre Drummond had 12 points, 13 rebounds against Charlotte. Dominic Barlow had 13 points, 8 rebounds against Boston. So have had some nice two-way contributions, have had some nice contributions coming off the bench. Against Charlotte, the 76ers, uh, contested 37 shots and they drew 8 charges. So, again, just showing more disciplined defense. This is for sure more of a team that I would want to watch this season. So, hopefully, they keep up that intensity and that smart defensive play because that's what's going to be the key for them. So, nice surprise for Sixers. Nice surprise with VJ Edgecombe. Biggest debut in over what was it, 60 years? Math is up. Yeah, over 60 years. And great shooting. Um, uh, Shown that he's thriving in quick decisions and on fast breaks, on the catch and shoot, shooting 52% and 40% from three on catch and shoot. So that's all very, very good. I've been talking for a while. Let's see how this team does as I end this segment, and let's move on to our next surprise. Okay, next up, and next surprise, let's talk about Aaron Gordon because he had a very efficient 50-point game, and the Nuggets are currently 1-1. They lost in overtime to the Warriors despite Aaron Gordon getting 50 points on 91% from the 3-point line and 8 rebounds. This was a lower facilitation and efficiency game from Jokic, but still had a great game. It's just that the Warriors are looking strong to start the season, and late game Steph Curry heroics sealed this game for the Warriors. So Denver was carried by Aaron Gordon, but they lacked the balance in this game. And then in game two against Phoenix, they won comfortably 133 to 111. Aaron Gordon scored 17 points on 45% from the field. And this was a more balanced attack from Aaron Gordon, showing that he can be more of a dual threat offensively and showing that he can fit in where he needs when Jokic needs him pretty much. So this team has me very excited. Of course, we know what kind of powerhouse the Western Conference is, but I think this team looks more similar to the team who won the title a couple years back. So, against the Golden State Warriors, Aaron Gordon had 50 points, 17 of 21 from the field, 10 of 11 from the three, 8 rebounds, and had a very high usage rate, of course. 17 points against Phoenix, 45% from the field, 5 rebounds, and was a plus 27 net rating and just very balanced attack from this team. And I think that will be the key takeaway from the team this season. Offense running through Jokic, spacing, shooting, good defense, and strong role players coming off the bench to facilitate that offense as well. Aaron Gordon, so far this season, 53% of his shots are 2 seconds or less. So a lot of his shots are coming on the catch and shoot. A lot of them are coming on pull ups, on transition shots, on just quick touches, and showing that he um, is ready to shoot. He has whatever word I'm looking for here. Let's move on. He's ready to shoot when he has it. I'll think of the word later. Whatever adjective I'm looking for. Uh, and Jokic and Murray, of course, that would be the key for this season as well. If Murray can have a big season, if he can stay healthy, Jokic is going to control that pace, and Aaron Gordon is a great option. Gives Jokic great spacing for the pick and roll, gives him great options for transition offense, and Aaron Gordon is showing a lot of effort on defense as well. 8 rebounds against the Warriors, up slightly from his average from last season. He's shown that he can be an assist man, can have assist contributions. He is somewhere around. He's above +2 in assists to turnovers in that role. And we mentioned the transition creates paint lanes, stretches the defense, and overall could just be the big X factor that this Nuggets team needs. Certainly a surprise to start this season. Had a huge game one. I know that he is loved over in Denver, shooting 65% from three so far in these 2 games, minimal turnovers, and is just having a historic start to the season. So I think the the Nuggets have a chance to win the East, and they have a chance to be on top of sorry, the West, excuse me. I think the Nuggets have a chance to be on top of the West. I'm still picking the Thunder for their continuity and their consistency and their, I think, having the best depth in all of NBA. But I think the Nuggets are going to make things very interesting. And certainly, if they're healthy come playoff time, I think that this dual threat of Jokic and Murray with their role players will be able to compete with any team. Let's move on. All right, this next segment should write itself. And is this the biggest surprise in the NBA, or is it just expected from the Spurs and from Victor Wembanyama? They are 3-0 to start the season after their win tonight. And there are some historic stats and things that we need to talk about between Wembanyama and this team. They had a 33-point blowout against Dallas in their season opener, and Wembanyama is just showing that he might be making an MVP run this season. Just not gonna talk about health too much. Just gonna be very, very hopeful for this team. So he's here. Not just a developing young star. We saw the videos in the off season of him in China, and then him working with Kevin Garnett, and then him working with Hakeem Olajuwon, and what all that could mean for him at this point in his career. So Wembanyama, there are just so many stats and things that I want to talk about with this player. Through 3 games, he's averaging 33.3 points, 13.3 rebounds, and 6 blocks, which includes 9 blocks and 13 contested shots that he had against the Pelicans. He was 1 block away from a block triple double in that game. So just historic MVP level numbers along with his team being undefeated so far. Uh, what else? 75% of his shots are on touches that are 2 seconds or less. So just elite processing speed, making choices very quickly, just showing the assertiveness. That's the word I was looking for before. Showing more assertiveness than ever this season. And 71% of his shots are coming from two dribbles or fewer. So these are all good signs, especially for someone like me who has had confidence in this player, but wants to see him work more of his game from the inside out, not just trying to facilitate his offense from the outside. Um, I know he doesn't view himself as a natural center. And of course, he's not a traditional center, but it's great to see that the Spurs are making adjustments around him, and he is more than ever, at least in this short span of the season, getting to his spots on the floor. So just very, very dominant. Opponents are shooting just 38% against the Spurs in these 3 games. Speaking of shooting maybe less threes, 88% of Wembanyama's shots are coming inside of 10 feet. So all good signs. 74% effective field goal percentage, 78% true shooting percentage in game one. He's putting up that Jokic level offense while putting up defensive player of the year defense. It's just all crazy. And I'm assuming that if you're listening to me now, you've watched the games, you've watched the highlights. If you haven't, go watch those highlights. It's like every game he does something that doesn't like look right on the camera, like that reverse slam that he did in game 1. Just a highlight machine, but also they're playing good basketball. So everyone should like this. Old heads, new heads, everyone should like this. Dylan Harper is having a great rookie impact. Um, Spurs are going to have, I don't know if they're going to have a third rookie of the year in a row, but they are certainly going to have two rookie of the years in a row and a third who is going to be a great candidate at the very least. So just keep drafting, keep drafting the right way, keep trusting the process, keep doing all of that. I think this team is going to be dangerous this season. Dylan Harper so far is 16 points per game, 5.7 assists, and 5 rebounds coming off the bench. He shot 73% against Brooklyn, and the Spurs are plus 33 with him on the floor in these 3 games. Just immediate control and composure, seeing a lot of high quality basketball from everyone, including the rookies this season. So it's great to see. He led offensive rating at 154 against the Nets. um, he created or finished 16 fast break points that night and just provides great pace, great decision making, great secondary creation, whether he's playing alongside Wembanyama or Steph Castle or Kelvin Johnson or whoever it might be. So if you want a young team to watch, you gotta watch the Spurs right now. Through 3 games for the Spurs, they are a plus 42 rebound differential, plus 60 point in the paint differential. Opponents are under 41% field goal every night. On average, what do we say? 38, 39%. And 5 or more players are in double figures each game. When Wimby and Cornette are on the front court together, playing together, they are plus 19 in the rebound advantage. So, wow, just a lot of impressive play from this team this season. Keep a lookout for them. Let's see if they can stay at the top of the West. They certainly would have been in the playoffs last season, play-in or playoffs, if Wembanyama would have not had, the DVT, deep vein thrombosis. There we go. Um, so, yeah, high hopes for this team. I got one more surprise segment for this episode. And last, let's talk about a team that does have a losing record, but has had a nice performance by some of their players. And one key player I want to talk about, which is Kyshawn George, playing for the Washington Wizards, who are 1-2 to start their season. Of course, the Wizards are not a team that I am focused on when it comes to who is going to be in the playoffs or the play-in, but I want to bring up surprises and potential and any good play that I can from some of these teams that might be closer to the bottom. Let's put it like that. And they've had some tough competition to start their season as well. They lost to the Bucks in opening night. We knew that would be a struggle against Giannis. They won their next game against Dallas 117 to 107, and then lost last night against the Hornets 120 to 139. We are seeing some scoring potential from the Wizards, and we're showing some energy from the bench, but there are defensive struggles, which is no surprise for this young team. So let's talk about the positive then, which is Keyshawn George. Keyshawn George had a solid rookie season, and this season shows that he can play a solid piece to this team. Don't know if it's a good stats, bad team sort of scenario, but at least he gets to develop on this young team. He has a great inside out game offensively, scoring at the rim, mid range pull ups, catch and shoot threes. These are all happening efficiently to start the season. Rebounds and assists are efficient, and he's showing that he can score efficiently in these short bursts that he plays. So it is something that I'm sure the Wizards are looking at when it comes to adjustments in their rotations. So in the first game against Milwaukee, he had 21 points, 7 of 15 from the field, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. His true shooting percentage was 57%. Against Dallas, where they won, he had a big game of 34 points, 11 of 15 from the field, 7 of 9 from three, had 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, had a very high usage at right around 25%, and his catch and shoot 3 point was at 78%. So making decisions quickly and shooting the ball efficiently. Other key players for this game, Alex Sarr had 14 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 blocks. Marvin Bagley off the bench had 10 points in 15 minutes. Corey Kispert had 7 points and 4 assists. Against Charlotte, they lost last night, 139 to 120. Uh, Keyshawn George only had 6 points. Usage dropped to around 16%, and he was a minus 22 while he was on the floor. Struggled a little bit more defensively, while Lamelo Ball had a great night. Other key players in this game, CJ McCollum had 24 points. Alex Sarr had 21 points. So there are Some bright spots, I would say that this team needs to get their rookies involved more and try to find ways that they can contribute more to the offense. Just if anything, this is a team that's going to focus on progress and developing and maybe getting into the lottery this upcoming offseason. So, we mentioned the catch and shoot for Kyshawn George. He is right around 71% on catch and shoot, lethal when he's open and in rhythm. In shots that are less than 10 feet from the basket, he is at 64%. While that being said, he is 50% from pull-ups, but is shooting 33% on contested shots. So that all, yeah, I mean, makes sense, but shows that a lot of his scoring is coming on open shots. Again, these are all adjustments and things that the Wizards should look towards and give more Keyshawn George minutes. This team will struggle against elite teams and elite scorers. They struggled against Giannis and LaMelo Ball. That is expected. They are at 13 to 21 turnovers per game. So, ball security there. Also, against elite defenses, they might struggle. And, as I said, they need to get their rookies, Johnson and Carrington, more, shot selections, more attempts. Just get them involved in their offense more. I think Keyshawn George, don't know if he'll be all-star potential on a team that might not win as many games, but he is certainly a player that could contribute 30 plus points on certain nights for this team. So exciting start for him. Definitely a surprise start for him and a league pass player I would look out for whenever I'm watching those Wizards games. So, I feel like I've been talking for a bit here. Let's close it there. Still have so many other games and players and teams I want to talk about. But for now, let's leave it there and join me next week. I might be putting out some shorter videos, analysis on YouTube, just trying to, do some other things. But if I do, I'll put it up on Spotify as well. Why not? Why not? But if anything, we'll have our Monday show. And thank you so much for joining me. If you're on Spotify or wherever you get your podcast, please subscribe there. Leave me a comment. That all helps. If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. Leave a comment, and I will be back soon next week. Thank you so much.